Hi guys. So there's a topic I want to read on. And thank you to, there's a viewer who asked me to read on the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And that's what got me sort of looking into all of this, because I know there's stuff happening with voting rights and things being passed in the House. And it turns out that this, I really think this might end up being a really big topic. What this is leading to is a conversation about the filibuster. Like, I'm even really hoping that Rachel Maddow will talk about it tonight. And that's sort of a game I play. I like to see if I can guess what Rachel's going to talk about. And I have a pretty good hit rate. My husband basically just expects me to tell him what Rachel's going to talk about tonight. So I feel like this is going to start to become a bigger thing, and I'll say why. By the way, I recorded this reading Thursday of last week. It's taken me days to get to it, but Rachel did actually talk about this Thursday night, which was kind of funny. But definitely in general, it's growing as a topic all around, I've noticed, so that's great. And correct me if I say something wrong and you know better. Correct me, and I'm going to add an article that kind of explains it all. There are two bills. One is the H.R. 1, and the other is the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Act. These are like very important laws that need to pass, especially right now because Republicans are freaking out, and they have already put more than 250 bills in 43 states have been introduced by Republicans that are going to try to create more barriers to voting, as if something happened, in 2020. Basically what did happen, and they are almost in some of these arguments not even afraid to say, so many people voted in 2020, by the way, more than any other election in history, yay. And it's causing Republicans problems that so many people are able to vote. The Republicans know they're not going to win any more elections if everyone can vote. So that's a real problem for them. So they're trying to really push voter suppression kind of, bills and laws, whatever they are. The filibuster. Basically, I'm realizing now how long and complicated the history of this is, but basically when people talk about getting rid of the filibuster, they mean getting rid of the Senate rule that requires 3/5 vote or 60 votes, which could possibly be achieved by Democrats right now with what's called a nuclear option that I won't try to explain, but it would be a very bold move to change the Senate rules so a majority vote will pass bills, which would be huge. There are also mini or individual nuclear options that can be used for certain bills as well, but the big move is what I'm reading on here. Forgive me, I don't quite understand, but I know that this is about to become a very big conversation. And I also know that it's because Democrats have the chance to get rid of the filibuster. And if they can get rid of the filibuster, then they can pass these voting rights acts. And it's so linked to the filibuster that basically if they don't do this very big vote to get rid of the filibuster, they're not going to be able to pass these. Many also consider this filibuster rule to be a relic of the Jim Crow era because it was used again and again and again to overrule the advancement of voting rights for African Americans in this country. And that's what I feel we have built up to right now in this moment. Like the past is overlapping with the present, with these bills that are on deck for the Senate to vote on. One, which is restoring the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which was altered, and the other, which safeguards and protects our votes moving forward. So this just feels like a big moment, if there ever was one, to be bold and make this move, do what it takes to right these wrongs, and put everyone's votes on an equal ground. So it's just, I feel like building up to a very big moment that could end up being fantastic. So I'm just like really hoping for that, and I'm just feeling a lot of energy on this. So, well, this is interesting right here, the Fool. I think they're going to go for it. That just happened to be there at the bottom. This would be go for it. Get rid of the filibuster and just do it. Let's start passing these bills. If the Democrats don't get rid of this filibuster, which I didn't realize. So I thought if we get the majority in the Senate and we have the majority in the House and we have the president, that we can start passing the bills we need to pass. But it's because of this filibuster. It just prevents we're not going to be able to pass anything, and that they have the chance to actually get rid of it. And this would be the moment to do it with these voting rights acts or bills, you know, like ready to be passed. This would be the moment to do it. And the fact that this filibuster is considered based in racism itself, it's such a perfect time to do it. I just feel like it's built up to this moment. And so this makes me feel happy that this is right there at the base as I'm like just about to start shuffling. I think we're gonna get somewhere, so let's see. So I'm just gonna ask, like, so Democrats, are you gonna get rid of the filibuster and pass these voting rights acts that need to pass? So just making sure everything's not upside down, because this King of Wands just came out upside down. I think we might have Mitch McConnell here. He's the one who's, because he's the, oh my God, and this is happening at the same time too. So Mitch McConnell is, as the Senate minority leader right now, he somehow has power because of this filibuster. I wish I could explain it. I can't, but the fact that he's here and he's upside down, because he's going through his own legal problems because of his wife right now. This is so interesting. And he's thinking about leaving. So maybe the universe is honestly like orchestrating a lot of things at once to help this happen. So that's interesting. And that just like to be happening at the same time. This is why I'm feeling this energy of like things building up for this to happen. And this tells me that that's one of the things that I hadn't even considered that. So let's see what else. Okay, so I think we've got some answers here. I was saying, yeah, that I felt Mitch in here, but you know, it's funny with these two kings also. I feel like, you know, what we're reading on, or this is, can also represent like the Republicans and the Democrats, because I was feeling like this is Mitch and this is Joe Biden. And the sort of bigger game or story at play does relate to the Republicans want things one way and Democrats want things another way. And you can see who's upside down. They want things to stay upside down as they are. They want to keep turning things upside down with voting rights, right? Make it more difficult to vote. But the problem is, Democrats have some power right now. At the surface, I mean, they ultimately have all the power, and it's just, are they going to take it? At the surface, I feel there's an agreement, this Two of Cups. This I also feel is like unity with the people, but I also feel this is, we could be looking at an agreement within the Democratic Party, because we have, again, it's cups. They're agreeing to do this. That's what I think. I think they're going to agree to, or they are agreeing that it's time to overturn this filibuster and to get rid of it. At the base, this Nine of Wands, I just feel this to be, Republicans are really afraid of this happening because they'll get knocked off their sort of grounding. This is like a defending your territory. Their paranoia right now is losing their... I think that this is just in general how they feel right now. That they're going to sort of get... There's so much I'm feeling in this card. Because so much has to do with voting territory, right? Which is such a big part of voter suppression. Is like marking these territories and this vote counts more than this vote kind of thing. but then there's also the element of, yeah, there's just like a definite insecurity and defensiveness of trying to maintain their ability to win elections. And it's like these wands are sort of moving in on them and pushing them off their territories. They're being basically overpowered. I think that's what that is. It's like, and they're just feeling defensive and trying to put up barriers that will protect them. And that's all these like bills that those hundreds of bills trying to create more voter suppression and act like they're the victims somehow. It's just not a comfortable place for Republicans to be in right now, I believe. Feeling like they're going to lose their power and ground for winning elections. This moon card in the near past, this feels like, well, I know that they argued some points to the Supreme Court this week, I believe relating to one of those acts. I think it was the John Lewis Act to try to restore the Voting Rights Act of 1965. So I think that we have the arguments here. They're done. The arguments are done. Plus it could represent the arguments for, it's sort of that thing, like both sides have finished their arguments. It's like the filibuster in the past has caused Congress to be a place where not much can pass. But maybe this time of Congress being one big debate stage and nothing else is moving into the past. So we're moving now into a different stage. This card confused me. It's the Seven of Cups, which is kind of an illusion, delusion, or dreaming of things card. Well, that's interesting. But it can also be a card of possibilities and wishful thinking. And I think a lot of the arguing that they're doing within the Democratic Party, and I'm going to say that because it's cups, and I've said that cups are Democrats, so I think they are sort of like, let's do this, imagine the possibilities. I mean, that's what this, and sort of like imagine all that we can do and all that we can pass. And imagine if you don't do it. That's, they really need to look ahead and realize they're either going to do this and pass a lot of things and be bold and change the country in all these ways, or they're just going to get bullied around like they have been already. We've already seen that. People really stepped up and voted for you guys. You need to deliver. So start imagining all the great things you can pass. We have a 10 of Cups here in this position with a 4 of Pentacles. Again, I'm seeing this as like sort of similar to this. This 10 of Cups, completion, happy endings, this would be like sort of the argument for everybody to be able to vote. And this 4 of Pentacles would be more the Republican version of, no, that's dangerous if everyone votes. This is holding on to power, holding on to money and power. So these are the two sort of opposing energies or sides that I'm feeling, which makes sense. This is like equality for all. And like in the 10 being like, you pass these bills and we've done it. We've done this huge, great thing for this country. And this is like people nervous, wanting to hold on to power, hold on to territory, that kind of thing. I feel in that 10 of Cups that this is the majority of the country, united and ready for this, because that's what this spot signifies, where we are. And it just feels, again, like this is the time. Because of the recent movements like Black Lives Matters and other things, we're waking up to injustices and inequalities all around and sort of joining hands with this bigger collective. And then, of course, we do still have this minority holding on to power. The Hierophant, hopes and fears position. This is such a card of Congress. So that makes sense here. Maybe this relates to this a little bit. Like they need to really convince, even there might be some Democrats who are not sure how they feel about getting rid of the filibuster, because there is then people say, well, then what's going to happen if Republicans get back to the majority? then they can just, every administration, if it goes back and forth, just tears apart the last one. But I just think it's like, I think you just have to be bold. So yeah, actually, maybe that is the hopes and fears, what I just said, the fear of how Congress will change. It's funny because the Hierophant is all about traditions and old systems, so it makes so much sense here. It very much likes things to stay the way they are. Change feels unruly to them, so they hold on even if the system doesn't make sense. But like I heard this argument today on a podcast, it explained it really well that really Democrats are the one that have a lot to pass. Republicans just like to stop you from passing bills and laws. So it's so much more beneficial to Democrats to get rid of the filibuster, whereas the Republicans don't have that much they want to do for the people. So it's like, I just think they really don't have much to lose. Get rid of the filibuster and just at least give yourselves a chance to be able to do a lot of good for the country so you can get more votes next time and impress people. I thought this was an interesting, what we had for the final was this emperor. This is a bold move. This is like sort of authoritative, strong, bold move. And then, you may have noticed I also have this, I did these clarifiers. I think they're going to get rid of the filibuster. And I think Democrats are going to be celebrating. And I think these bills are going to pass. Asserting power. And this Three of Swords. Putting those swords into the heart of the matter. That's the filibuster. And I think it's going to go. And, and especially with this Three of Cups here, that would be Democrats celebrating. So I think the filibuster goes before anything else, before we even get into the Voting Rights Acts. And let's get into some cards that were underneath the Emperor, because I thought these were really strong cards. Look at this, Ten of Swords. That is the end of something. That is the end of the filibuster. And look what it's with, this Death card upside down. This I feel to be representing, well, and here we have this Two of Pentacles. These would be the two bills that were, the two voting rights bills we're talking about. And the fact that this Death card is upside down tells me they are going to bring back, restore the Voting Rights Act of 1965. That's what this would tell me, because this would be death. This would be kind of like reversing that death, right? Because it's upside down. And this, I think, is the ending of the filibuster, the lifting of, the reinstating the original purity of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. That's what I'm guessing here, that this move, this very bold, assertive move is going to allow for these things to happen. Here I have the Hermit card with this Four of Swords. Is there a recess coming up or something? This is like, brings me to, it's like I think they're going to do something and then there's going to be a recess. This Hermit with the Four of Swords, I'm guessing is actually relating to the other bill, the HR 1, the For the People Act, and how they may need to go back and rethink some things. So it may not initially be a slam dunk as it is and needs some more time and thought to get there. And then when they come back, we have an Ace of Cups and an Ace of Pentacles. I feel like those two bills are going to pass. This is like these brand new things, and here they are. This could either be a recess or it's like taking some time to look at things before they pass. But I just feel like these two aces here, tell me that they are going to pass. So that's great. And then, like I was saying, so we have a Three of Swords here moving out, and a three of, oh, interesting. 2 threes. Moving in, and I think this represents, this Emperor is going to break some hearts and make others celebrate, you see. And the people who have the power right now, those Democrats, have the power to be this Emperor right now and destroy that filibuster, which, like we've talked about, really is going to hurt Republicans so much because they need this voter suppression in order to keep winning elections. So that's like the heart of the matter, and they're going to get it done. In this Page of Pentacles, what is this Page of Pentacles? It's kind of, it just feels like a sort of gift. It's news of something of value. What is that? So this must be that someone's going to have to come up with the proposal to do this, to kill the filibuster. So that will be proposed, and I think they're gonna do it. I mean, just based on these cards, I'm feeling like there's a good chance that will happen. The fact that it's beneath the surface there makes me wonder if it's already being formulated now, or it's already done and just waiting to come up. And then at the base, I mean, you're not going to believe how many major arcana. After I got the added 3 cards, we have 4 here, and then we've got a star card, a fool card, a chariot card. I mean, if that's not like a yes, I don't know what is. The North Star, the guiding light. I mean, you got John Lewis here, the Voting Rights Act of 1965. We've got all these... This star card has come up for me before relating to MLK Jr. and the civil rights movement, which was a lot about imagining a better future and keeping your eye on that prize. So I think that's showing up here. Like I said, there's that feeling of the past overlapping with the present, finally getting its due. You know, keep the hope, okay? And then the Fool is a brand new thing, a brand new venture, and then the Chariot coming out strong. So the brand new thing would be getting rid of that filibuster, and let's see what life is like now. And then it's like they're going to be able to come out and pass so many things. And then I did have a thought. If I see this card, that means the filibuster's going. This is the 8 of Cups. It's on its way out with the Tower card. That's going to shake things up for sure. It's going to be wild. And then got the Lovers, the Empress. This is like a new commitment to America. Oh, what I actually felt from this Lovers card, I really felt that angel, like I was saying. I feel like things are being orchestrated so that all of this is happening right now. With the 2 voting rights acts and the filibuster also relating to that sort of racist history. I don't know. I just feel things are orchestrating right now to get this done for America. And this Knight of Wands is like a bold move. The bold move with the fighting. It's sort of like, yeah, like Elizabeth Warren said, Americans did not vote us into leadership positions so we could sit around and debate all day. This 5 of Wands is like a debating card. It's like they came to see us vote and pass some things. This Knight of Wands, let's get that energy out here of like, let's do it. And like just sort of, I feel this Knight of Wands sort of rising above this fighting to like be action. This is action oriented. And anyway, there's even more. There's 3 more of these. I mean, the 10, this is a completion, and it's, what is that word? It's like sort of an inheritance, which also brings me back to the original 1965 Voting Rights Act and like the Constitution and everybody being able to vote, this 10. It's like this completion needs to happen with that World card is another completion card. Oh, I just got a little head spin on that. There's some energy on that. Yes, this completion. And then there we are with the angel again with that. Is just like, it's time. This is the moment. I feel that it has to happen. This would be also feeling of a majority vote is going to be the way to go to get it done. Temperance, of course, also represents fairness and balance. It's also taking me to the notion of 50-50. Like if laws are passed by simple majority, that's more balanced than this notion of a 3/5 majority, which isn't balanced. So this is another good card to see here, I think. Like the universe prefers balance, down the middle, simple majority rules. That's what's fair. And then, you know, the Magician, another very powerful card. This angel is sort of the majority. That's how the Constitution was written. And this took me, the Constitution, a little like, yeah, like it should be that the majority gets things passed. Whoever gets voted, the people who got voted into the power positions have given them the power, this Magician card, to pass things and make changes so we don't all just sit around and argue all the time. So anyway, that was a lot, but let me know if you guys had any thoughts on these cards. This one especially, was I right? Is that what's going on here? Trying to create enthusiasm. Look, just imagine what we can do and imagine if we don't. I think that's sort of the behind the scenes arguing going on to get people to come together and agree to do this. And then beyond that, to do even more of the things that they want to do, to be bold. And what do we get at the end? We get bold. Some people are going to have their heart broken. Other people are going to be celebrating. And like I said, the cups celebrating, that would be Democrats. This could be big, and I'm very excited about it. Fingers crossed. Keep your eye on that prize, the North Star, a new day coming strong. I'm very excited. So I hope you guys liked this read. As always, let me know your comments or thoughts that you had on my cards or on your own readings on your end. I love to hear it, and I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.